So today I thought it might be fun to explore again with some watercolor and then using the acrylic gesso over top the clear gesso. So I'm going to start with, this is the Derwent shade and tone set. I'll put the colors up on screen for you guys. So I thought it might be interesting to try just some neutral tones and then put the blues and the pastels over top. So let's give that a try. Okay, let's start off with a little bit of the driftwood here on the Bahong paper. So I'm just kind of curious, like if we keep it neutral, it'll be easier to use the pastels. Since we're just kind of experimental mode here, I'm trying to figure out like if it's worth continuing exploring the soft pastels. Just using the color shaper here to like kind of bring down some of this. And you see already we've got a little bit of a wash going on here, which is nice. Let's come in with some of these colors. So I believe there's a sepia in here. I think it's this one right here. I haven't used these very often, as you can tell. I bought them and then I kind of didn't like them so much. So, but we'll try them out here. This is the sepia. Just kind of a maroony color. And again, I don't want to do too much. Although I'm kind of liking the charcoal now that I'm looking at it. Like I think the charcoal is kind of interesting. Let's put some more of that driftwood down. And that's kind of a nice color through there. Let's come in with this sort of cooler gray color. Put some of that up here in the sky. These are kind of a mix of their Graphite Tint and other colors. So it's a little bit of everything. It's one of their combo sets. It's a nice set, but I think it'd be great for sketching, which is kind of what we're doing here. Let's see, it's got some white here. Let's see how that works. Some of that white in there. I just think this might be kind of interesting to bring in the colors over top. Let's come in with this. Looks like a darker brown, like a black almost. Let's kind of just make some marks through here. I'm gonna make these a little bit more subtle. Drag the mark around. Like that. Let's see, let's put a little bit. That one's really pigmented. I like it. Let's come back in with the color shaper. We need some more down here. I think I'm going to leave that for now. Let me let this dry. And, well, maybe I want to, let's see what this color is. This looks like an interesting color. I want to add just a little, I'm going to want to play with more of these colors and just kind of see. That one looks very similar to what we had there. It's almost like a purpley color. What about this? This looks like a graphite color. Ooh, that's fun. That's a good color. Like that. Okay. I'm gonna let this dry and then we'll come back in, put some gesso over it. Okay, let's get out our clear gesso and put some of this down. Come in with our chunky brush. I'm hoping this will give us some fun marks like we got yesterday or a couple of days ago. Let's just be even more random with it. I kind of just wanted to have this sort of painterly feel. And why not take the opportunity to make texture when you can? And this may not be for everybody. I'm not going to say that everybody needs to try this. We're just experimenting, trying to figure out how I like to use these pastels. I'm getting a little bit of blending there from the charcoal that I put down, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to make these lines down here. Try to make them stand out like our marks that we normally make. And then I think I'm just going to kind of leave the rest of it. So I got a pretty different feel, texture. Let's see if you guys can see that a little bit. Maybe. That's kind of hard to see on camera. Okay, let me dry this. Got our Sennelier, this extra soft seaside color set that we're going to be using today. Let's start off with a little bit of white. Just kind of, I'm going to be a little bit more delicate with this. I think I figured out what I like. Like, I really like how subtle we can be. I say that at the beginning. We'll see where it goes. Like right now, I think that looks really cool. But I really like this blue. So my thinking is that I could add lighter marks with the gesso technique. If I use neutral colors, my thinking was it would be a little bit more painterly, a little bit more subtle. Like you can kind of see these like, oh, that's really cool. So I've kind of been experimenting with mark making, and I found the marks that I really like to make are these, make it with the gesso and the texture, and then coming lightly over top with these pastels. Seems to be my favorite thing about it so far. And it's always one of those things when you start using a different technique, like how do you make it your own? Like how do you make it uniquely you and not just do what everybody else is doing? And that's always the hard part about starting something different. It's like, how do you make it unique to you so it's not just, oh, I've seen she's making a seascape with pastels. We've seen that a billion times. So yeah, it can be a little different. But I do like these marks. The other thing that I like about this technique is the ability to make soft areas and stark areas, but also I really liked the using the gel medium, matte medium with it. So let me get some of that out. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit more of this blue. Kind of just run it across there. I'm really liking that texture. Let's come in with a bit of the green just to give a little bit of difference. Add some green up here too. I think this is where I'm going to use the matte medium. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do there yet, though. Let's put some of this yellow in, because we have it. I think this yellow is really pretty. Actually, I'm going to wait on that. Let's come in with our paintbrush. This is an acrylic brush that I'm using here. You probably don't want to use your watercolor brushes with it. It's a little damp. Just going to come through. This was also another one of my favorite ideas that's come out of this, is the using it as almost like paint, like DIY paint a little bit. Just making these little painterly marks through here, I think really adds something to what we can do. It does change the color a little bit. And I guess we could, we could do like Maybe this is just deli paper I've got of here. What if we took some marks like that or some and added it before? We're gonna get something that's a little bit more transparent. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little different. It's a little different than what it is when you just put it on the paper. I'm not sure if I like it though. I think I like it better just adding it over top of what we've already got. So let's just keep doing that. I just wanted to try that out a little bit. I think it works better this way. Then we can also come back in and make some marks with this that we couldn't make before. And again, it really just depends on what you want your work to look like. It's kind of all up to you. I mean, what I like may not be something that you like. That's just the way it is. But you guys know I like marks. I don't like too uniform pieces. So I'm gonna bring some of this through here. I like messy. I like painterly, free. Okay, a little carried away there, but that's all right. Okay. Some of this through here. What if we just come back in with a little bit more and blend it, put it on top? Okay, that didn't work very well. I do like how transparent you can make it though. Like, it's kind of interesting that it's got this sort of transparent feel about it, which I find very interesting. That we can make these marks with this almost, like you can get solid, but you can also get pretty into a transparent mode in some spots. I like how this is working out. I don't want to cover it all up. That was not my point. We almost covered up all the underpainting anyway. That's okay. Let me let this dry. I'm going to add some yellow in and see where we're at. Okay, I tried something else. I'm taking this piece of rubber tool and kind of drawing back into it. Makes some kind of neat marks. It has to be recently wet though. You can see it's working kind of down here. It's not really working up there so much. Okay. Okay, let's come in just with a bit of this yellow. I'm curious to see like where we made the marks down here, if we could still see the gesso marks, which we can just a little bit, which is interesting. I like that. Okay. I don't think I want a lot of this. I'm kind of liking how just sort of, I've got this white here. I've got more of this gray. Let's put some more of this gray through here at the top. We haven't used this blue yet. We should probably use this blue in some spots. I'm liking these pastels. I think they're completely vibrant and very cool. I'm not sure that I'm going to order anymore. I say that now. I just don't see myself working in this way a lot. I mean, it's been kind of fun to try something different. But I don't know that it's influencing enough. Although I really do like some of these marks they're making here. But I think I can continue to make these marks without ordering like every color. It's almost nice having a limited palette. Oh, I don't want that color, I want this color. To kind of work with, I think. But yeah, I think it's it's got some promise, I think. Let's come in with a little bit of this white, stiffer, harder charcoal, or I'm sorry, pastel. I apologize that I don't know what brand it is. We're just going to make some marks through here. I think I kind of like the hard, soft thing we got going on. There was one other thing that I wanted to try. So we have some alcohol that I'm going to spritz onto this brush. And we're just going to kind of drag it through here and see what that looks like. It's very similar to the matte medium, although I think it's, well, it's a much smellier process. I've seen other people use it as almost like a fixative. Oh, it's really strong. Yeah, that's pretty intense. I think this is 90%, so maybe use a 70. I did open a window, so I'm not gonna pass out or anything. Let's see what happens if we just let's spray it up here and see if it does. I mean, it definitely made everything brighter. Let's let it dry and see if it fixes it in place, because that would be nice not to have to use a separate fixative. It does smell less than actual fixative. So we're gonna let this dry for a second and I'll come back. Okay, so let's see if it did anything. It did not. It absolutely did not. So that is a fail. Well, not a fail, but just a negative. That's not something we need to be doing. I do think I want to add a little bit more of white paint. So let's come in with our acrylic ink. This is the Amsterdam titanium white. I just want to put a little bit through here. I'm not going to do a lot. I thought I could maybe get away with just using the white pastels, but I think it needs more than that. Just in a few spots. I'm not saying I want to put it everywhere, but we just need a little bit of white to like sort of balance out what you got going on. Gives you a little something to travel through. I'm not even sure if I like that now that I'm looking at it. Get them too thick, maybe. Let's come in and make it a little bit more dynamic. Actually, this one down here came out nice. You can really hear that gesso. The clear gesso has some grit to it. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to finish up with a little bit of yellow ochre pastel just through here. See if we can add. I was hoping that would be dark enough. It's okay. I think it's okay. I don't think my white paint was dry. Oops. I just felt like it needed some subtle lines through here. Also wanted to see how the oil pastel sticks to the other pastel. It seems to be doing a good job. So that's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. I think we gotta go. Oh, you know what? Actually, I lied. I'm gonna put like Just a few marks up here in the sky. Kind of bring it all together. Okay, let's look at it with a map. Okay, I think this is my favorite one we've done so far. I really like the neutral backdrop. I think it added some light to it, just a little bit. We kind of covered up everything down here, but I knew that was going to happen. But I like the first layer. Oh gosh, I'm making a mess. Sorry. Trying to put these back and talk at the same time. I really like the gesso marks through here. I think are really fun in the sky. I think they really added some texture, and down here as well, because you can still see it, even though we used the matte medium down here to make some solid areas, and then use this to scrape back in. When we went back over it, you could still see those marks. I like these little purple bits of the soft pastel. I like the white, and the oil pastel marks are nice too. Overall, I think it turned out really well. And I don't know, I might be done with the oil or the soft pastels. I think I'm done for a while with those. I feel like we've made, what, 4 or 5 videos now. I've kind of decided my verdict is I like them, but I don't think it's going to be my go-to everyday mark making. It's just too messy. It's too messy. Although I do like how I do like some of these marks, but I'm not sure that it's worthy. I'm not sure it's worth it. Is I guess my point. I like being able to layer and layer and layer, and I'm not seeing that with this technique. Although I like the matte medium with it, but that kind of turns it into paint, which is kind of like, well, why might as well use paint if I'm going to use, you know. But that technique might make its way back in, I think. I think we might use that a few times, mixing up some of those colors to use as a paint type substance media. Let me know your thoughts below. It's been fun. It's been fun exploring this sort of technique, and we don't know until we try and play and use our materials in new ways. Okay. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you next week for something different. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do yet, but we'll explore something new next week. Thanks so much.